Hello, everyone. I'm Garage,
And I'm Oz.
and this is the Fatal Cast, the only fatal, the only podcast lethal enough to be lethal. It's about a
Yeah.
card game called Fatal Core. You can find a link to it in the description. It's entirely
Ooh.
free to play, currently browser based, with a client, eventually soonish coming to Steam.
Ooh.
Um, so today we're actually going to be talking about that announcement, among others. Uh, as
Hmm.
well as a recently announced mechanic, Haste, as well as doing a exclusive preview of one of the new lead characters coming to Fatal Core, Kahar,
Or
not
Kahar.
Car,
Or Car, yeah.
yeah, Toyota, however you want to say it. So Oz,
Exciting stuff.
um, got these announcements on Patreon.
Yes.
What
Okay.
are the announcements on Patreon?
Um, okay. So there'll also be a link to this in the description if you want to read along with us. Um, so there's going to be an improved tutorial, which that's good because the tutorial is a little hard for people to understand, I think. There's a lot of
Uh,
questions that people post on the Discord.
yeah. New tutorial, so should hopefully be, more clear, more visually descriptive, that sort of thing.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping it'll explain interactions too. I think a lot of people still think that you like have to choose to attack with creatures, which is weird.
Yeah, there are a lot of weird interactions in Fatal Core. That's like a base mechanic, which I think is confusing at first. I think so long as it like says that and like really spells it out and shows it, I think it will be fine. Um,
Yeah,
there are other weird interactions, but I think for a basic tutorial, yeah, yeah.
yeah. So yeah, that's cool. So I think that's exciting. You want to just skim through the rest of these, or how do
Um,
you want to handle these?
I don't know. Let's do it. Look, I'll read the next one. We can do this like
Sure.
popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, third grade literature class, or what do they call it? Like reading
Eng-
class. I forgot if they
English.
English. I forget. Well, I don't think they called it English in elementary school. They called it like reading, writing.
It might. Yeah, I think they separated reading and writing.
Yeah, I don't remember. It's been
I
like
didn't pass.
yeah, it's been a good 2 years since I was in third grade, so my memory is a little fuzzy. So next on the list of stuff coming to Fatal Core is private matches. So you'll be able to directly challenge another player and fight them. So you won't
Yeah.
have to try and coordinate hopping into the game queue at the same time. You can just fight each other directly. So that'll be very useful for tournaments, as well as just trying to play with your friend.
Right. You don't have to worry about Garage popping in and making you lose
I
all
mean,
that cred you're gaining.
well, that's the only way to like get games. You gotta just hop in and luck of the draw. Sometimes you run into garage. Sometimes you run into that living pile of trash Galus. That's just how
That's
it
true.
goes. Life is like a fatal core queue.
You never know
Um,
what you're gonna play.
yeah. So what's next?
Boss AI
Ooh,
opponents with great first clear rewards. So, I think you were telling me before we started that, this has kind of been like an idea for a while, so it's cool that it's
yeah,
finally coming to fruition.
yeah. I
Um,
think it's been in development for some time. I don't know like how long exactly like this has been planned or been developed, but yeah, boss AI opponents. So, from my
yeah.
understanding, it's going to be like more difficult than the hard AI, and it might incorporate some unique mechanics or cards to really throw a wrench in things. So you have to. I feel like it's going to be difficult to like beat it on your first try. Like you're really going to
Hmm.
have to build your deck around like what they play. It's almost like a puzzle to me.
Right. Yeah. That would make sense with like the first clear rewards. I'm
Mm,
curious, it doesn't explain what those are, and if that's just like an extra amount of PF, if they're gonna give you like exclusive like alt arts or
I don't know.
I don't know.
It could be any number of things, really.
Yeah. I'm I'm curious how much better the AI is going to be since like
Yeah,
even the hard one currently is, or I guess they changed it to medium finally,
yeah.
um, is not very smart.
Yeah,
So,
they make some pretty bad mistakes sometimes. The overall quality of their decks is generally good, at least with the hard
mhm,
difficulty.
right.
Yeah, I'm interested. I don't know how much about how the AI is programmed in Fatal Core, so it'll be interesting to see how that's been improved. Or maybe they just didn't improve it at all, and they just gave them like 5 copies of ZL, and
Hey,
that's how they're gonna win.
yeah, I could see that. Like
Yeah.
Pan's taking the easy way out.
God damn it, fan.
All right, what's the
Um,
next one?
comprehensive overhaul of the UI, UX, quality of life. Basically, the game will no longer look like a Flash game from 2006. It'll look like a Flash game from 2007.
Ooh,
By that I
that's
mean
a
it will look from like the previews that have been posted and like the animated lead art and stuff like that. I think it's going to be of a lot higher caliber than it is currently. It'll look a lot more polished for sure.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm really the new character art really gets me hyped for how the rest of the site's gonna look. Because I think Galus has done a great job hiring artists that are just really talented, and um, I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I'm just really excited.
definitely not Oz.
No,
No, no.
I can draw a little cartoon Fatal Core if you'd like me
Yeah, but do not hire him for your card game. Notable
to.
exception. Um,
Everyone
uh,
thinks I'm hired.
yeah. Well, one thing that I'm looking forward to seeing is how the menus change. Because right now, like the design of the menus is kind of weird. Like when you hop into the main menu and it's just 6 gigantic rectangles or 5, I forget.
Hmm.
Um, like how you can like make that like sleeker. I don't know. So it's like less blocky. I'm not a UI designer. I don't know that much about UI design. Like my well, I was playing Kirby Air Ride last weekend. I thought the menu layout on that was really cool. Like how like sleek it is and how you like hop between things and it's laid out differently. I don't think Fatal Core should be laid out like Kirby Air Ride, but
But if
I,
it was,
but if it was, I wouldn't have complaints necessarily.
no, yeah, I think it's. I mean, like, I don't. Yeah, I'm the same boat. Like, I don't know anything about UI, but uh, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's like, what else included? So like, I think one thing that I think's implied in here is that I think they're gonna do. Oh no, it's at the end. Never mind. I'm just gonna mention this now because I already said it. But music and sound effects are gonna be added to it finally, so it isn't gonna be a quiet game, which is I think gonna be good.
Yeah, you get to hear some hardcore gangster rap when you play
Yeah.
Reject.
Yeah, it's just so weird to like you turn on the game or you log in, it's just really quiet looking at rectangles, trying to figure out what you have to do. It doesn't even like have your name at the bottom or anything to like show that like you're logged into an account. You have to go
Right. It's
to a certain page to
very
see that.
yeah, it's very bare bones. It's very
Yeah.
just like the features are here, but the presentation is not really here.
Yeah. So
So I think, taking notes from other popular digital TCGs in regards to layout isn't a bad idea either.
hmm
Like, I think, of course, layout can be improved in those games as well, but yeah, just like taking some notes. Like you said, like, I never thought of that, like displaying your name. And like, that's such a, well, I don't know how simple it is to implement, but it sounds simple. And like, I feel like
yeah,
that's like one thing that even just that makes it look better. So
right.
I'm looking forward to seeing what they implement.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not worse.
All right, next one on the list. This is mostly all you, Ozman.
Oh. So introducing alliances and three new lead characters.
Oh,
I'm going to read this little paragraph blurb. Each of the existing three leads will be paired with a partner who has similar goals. These characters will have completely different boards and many unique cards, but will be able to share a large number of previously unique cards with their partner as well. Ooh.
yeah, I, it's like that's such like okay. So like before we were talking about like fluff, like oh okay, the game will look different,
Mm-hmm.
cool. We'll have music, great. And now this is like, oh, like 3 new lead characters, and they share cards with existing lead characters.
Yeah. So
That
not. I just like thinking about like certain like cards that are broken, but like they're not as broken because they're locked into a certain board or whatever. I hope that they make sure that the power levels or whatever are balanced, and I'm sure they are. But whew, it's going to be a big change.
I was going to say this is going to shake everything up. Like, of course, there are careful balance considerations with um, introducing cards into new leads, sharing cards with new leads, because it can break things like, like a card which is fine in jury could be broken with another lead. Um,
hmm
to
Jury of the
clarify,
lead.
yeah, to clarify, jury, prisoner, and Jetto will not be sharing cards with each other.
Why do you keep saying jury?
Oh, Joanne! Joanne, that's her name. Nobody plays her, so I don't need to know her name. Um, they both begin with J. All right,
Yeah.
Joanne, Jetto, and Prisoner will not be sharing cards with each other.
No, no, yeah.
Uh, there will be a new lead introduced, and three new leads introduced, each of which will share cards with one of the original three.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, the alliance system is what that's called. They'll have an alliance with the new lead, which allows them to share some cards. It's important to note they're not sharing every card; they're just
hmm
sharing some.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
which ones exactly we don't know yet, but yeah,
I
so
think we know a
that's
few for later.
for
We know
later. Special
we know a few.
preview. Stick
Yeah.
around, please,
Or just skip.
or just skip. That's fine too. Um, yeah, it's going to shake everything up, really. Um, yeah, new lead characters, hooray!
Ooh,
Um,
everyone's wanted some new ones.
yeah, well, I know Alphabet especially. He like every single night. It's like, when are they adding new leads? It's like,
Yeah, I was kind of shocked they were going to do it this early. I thought they were going to wait a little longer to get more of a fan base, people playing, testing, checking balance issues with all these three first before they added more. But I think it's also a good incentive to just add more and then get more people interested in the game. I think.
I think one thing with alliances is this is kind of unrelated, but it's important to make sure that both leads in the alliance have distinct strategies, even though they share some. Like, you don't want play styles to be homogenized, or you don't want it to be
Right.
like, okay, Joanne can play wisps, and then her ally can do wisps, but better. Like,
hmm
you want them to have a diverse array of play styles, not just like, this is Joanne, but better, or
hmm
this is Joanne, but worse.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, that's not the most difficult thing to do. Joanne is currently average, let's say.
Yeah, that's being nice. Um, yeah, I think it's the whole idea is like the alliance like special share like a common play style, but like taking a different approach. So I'm excited to see how those turn out.
Yep,
Hopefully they'll be able to stand on their own.
yeah, definitely. So the next change announcement on the holy text of Patreon announcements is the game length is being increased to 12 rounds, and starting player HP is going to be set at 80. So this, along with new lead characters, it's going to be a whole new world. Forget everything you knew about Fatal Core. Um,
It's a different beast entirely almost. Entirely almost. Good job. Um, but no, like we talked about this in episode 2. Um, and Gellis explained his reasoning for it, and I think it'll it makes sense. It'll hopefully help swings come back and forth. You're not going to
yeah,
immediately
you don't get blown
lose by
out.
like turn 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes Pupper better or good in the first place.
I mean,
But
it hopefully makes Joanne a bit better as well, because she has time to grow.
yeah, she
Um,
needs a lot of setup.
yeah. I'm interested to see how it affects Prisoner, actually. Um, because
Yeah,
Prisoner, I think, has potential to be. Like, they're going to have to raise the slow on Gruesome Legion, for instance. it's going to
Right.
be, because on the one hand, it's more difficult now. You have to control your opponent for 12 rounds instead of 9. But on the other hand, like you get more turns to play your control stuff, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. That's the same thing I was thinking. I'm curious. I think my first initial thought was like, oh, it's it'll be easier to break control now. But I mean, yeah, you're still digging through your cards, playing more to keep that mana magnet lockup or what have you. So or Garetta, things like that.
Yeah,
Um,
I'm honestly, I'm not sure. Like so
yeah,
many
I'm not sure if it'll
things,
make a difference.
yeah, so many things are changing. I don't know if this is all being done at once, like if the round change will be
Hmm.
implemented at the same time as new leads, or if it will be like, okay, here are new leads, here's new round. Well, they'd probably do the round change first because that's like very fundamental, but a
Right.
change to the fundamentals of the game.
Hmm.
Um, so it's hard for me to really make predictions or like give an assessment other than things are going to change. Hopefully, slower things work better, but I don't know.
Yeah, and yeah, I I think it can also maybe open up, more slow cards that are, that could be even a play style, is like a slow play style or something. I don't know. There's a lot of game development a lot of avenues you can take with card design and now with a longer game.
Shout out to Lumbering Vindicator.
Oh yeah, I think that's Skelis's favorite card.
It
As
is.
much as he talk about it. I don't know. He always talks about how good it is. So
Yeah, I heard he got a Dakimakura of it not too long ago. So
a what?
a body pillow.
Oh, I think it's good. I don't know what that word meant.
Okay. Yeah, that's the if you're an analyst of fine culture like me, you know the technical term for your body pillows.
Yeah, I'm not much of an analyst.
I consider myself the finest of analysts. So what else is what else is contained in that
Um,
list?
So the next one is an auction system, which Gillis has been talking about this publicly for a while.
Hmm.
Um, and so I'm going to base this off of his initial concept. I'm not going to claim that this is correct, but the last time he talked about it, it was kind of like he's going to put like rare cards up for auction for a certain price on the market to kind of stimulate the market more often, help get more cards into the pool of players and stuff like that. I I don't know how it doesn't. There's not even a caption to explain what this means. So this
Um,
is all,
yeah, when Galus talked about it, he said the idea was basically new S cards would be generated automatically. So it's not like a player auction, it's just these cards are created and then
mm,
players can bid on them for like 24 hours. I don't think he said a time. I'm just assuming like the auction has to end at some point, but
right.
I think that would be shit. I don't like that idea because it's just devaluing S cards further. I mean, it makes them easier to get a hold of, so that's cool. But
Hmm.
I feel like Fatal Core is already super generous. I think player run auctions could be fun, where we can auction cards and have people bid on them. That would really stimulate the market instead
Hmm.
of effectively an AI creating new cards and people bidding on them. Yeah, I think player
Yeah.
run auctions would help stimulate the market, but wouldn't
Yeah, that's
be
a good point.
yeah, I wouldn't be a big fan of just new cards being generated
Hmm.
like that.
Yeah. Well, and to be fair, it doesn't explain it, so he could have changed
Yeah,
his mind since then. I know he was kind of brainstorming it, so
yeah,
maybe with that input, he's already changed what it means, or
yeah. This is all subject to change, I'm sure.
right.
Like everything in here, more or less.
We have no clue what we're talking about.
What? I mean, I look. I know everything. Yeah. No, I can't bullshit. Uh, this is a lot of this is subject to change for sure, but that's what was last mentioned about the auction system. We'll see how it's actually implemented, and of course, based on player feedback, it can always be changed.
Yeah, nothing's set in stone ever in Fatal Core, I think.
Yeah, very very rarely. So mission system is next. So from my understanding, it's going to be like, for example, like quests in Hearthstone. Like log in,
Hmm.
you get missions which are like play 10 cards with mana magnet. You get rewarded with a certain amount of currency. Stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good incentive to play more games, play cards that you don't normally play, play styles you don't normally play.
Hmm.
Um, so that can be a really encouraging system.
I think
Uh,
I think global missions might be fun as well. Like community missions, like everybody has to deal 10,000 damage collectively. So like whenever somebody deals
hmm,
damage, it gets added to that gauge, and then a reward is unlocked for the community.
that's a really good idea. Is that common in other TCGs?
It's in some. It's not in like Hearthstone, for instance. I know something similar was done in Urban Rivals. I don't know what other card games have done that. I'm trying to think if Duelist did that. I don't think they did, but I think that could be fun. But the issue is sometimes like you set it like really high. Like, can you imagine like if it was like deal 100,000 damage and it's like in like 2 days, and it's like that's not gonna
Oh,
happen.
oh yeah, if
Um,
there's a timer, yeah, especially no way.
yeah,
Not
and
currently.
yeah, in creating those missions, you have to be careful to not fuck it up and make it
Hmm.
like unrealistic.
Yeah. That'd be cool though. I think that'd be a cool way to get, encourage players to play with you and stuff like that. You get on Discord and like, hey, someone play, let's help get this mission, especially if it's a really good reward. If it's just
Yeah,
like, 500 PF or something like that, it's like, okay, well,
I mean,
that's cool,
I
but
was going to say I'm greedy enough to where it's like, ooh, 500 PF? Hell yeah. I'll
I mean, yeah.
grind for 12 hours.
So yeah, I think that'd be cool. Hopefully, if Gallus is listening to this, maybe he'll consider that. Um,
I hope he
but
doesn't. I called him trash.
that's true. Where's the lie though?
Yeah, there
Um,
isn't one.
so, so the next bullet point is a visual thematic improvements to each lead character's board. Um,
Wait, I think I was supposed to read that one.
oh, I thought you did mission.
I don't remember.
I don't. We can read that one together.
All right, visual thematic improvements to each lead character's board. Kind of going with the improvement of the UI. The
Right.
boards will look pretty. They won't all be the same frame. They'll be pretty.
Yeah, all aesthetic really, and that the boards need it. The boards are a little rough.
I mean, I think everything's a little rough outside of most of the card art. Some of the card art is still shitty.
Yeah,
Shout
but
out
let's
to
aspire,
yeah, Inspire.
inspire. Rather.
Yeah, that card. Most of the card art looks good. Inspire does not look very good. It looks like somebody vomited paint over like a stock image of an angel. Like somebody
I don't
vomited
hate
like
it that much, but
neon paint. I don't like it at all.
I, I know.
But I feel like I'm being too negative. Let's talk about Baragast. He's a beautiful caterpillar man.
It's true. I have him on a shirt. He's so
I
pretty.
yeah, I got him on my oh god. I don't know if I can. I got him on my uh got some special Baragast undergarments. Let's say that.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Your Mormon underwear.
Yes.
Awesome. I'm I'm glad. Baragast will help keep the bad thoughts away.
Yeah, you do. You do.
Okay, so you want me to read the next one, or I don't know.
Alchemy
Confused me.
system.
Okay.
Sacrifice groups of low grade cards to create high grade cards.
Yes.
So don't know how exactly it's going to be implemented. If it's going to be like sacrifice like 5C cards to get a B card, 5B to get an A, 5A to get an S. I don't know what
Hmm.
the conversion rate's going to be, but the gist of it is you can sacrifice lower rank cards to get higher rank cards.
Right. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like he's mentioned possibly instead of like creating current cards, it's like more like all arts, like to kind of
Oh,
create like a more so you're not like fucking up the market or anything like that. Everyone's
yeah.
gonna be like all these Bs and all these As are gonna be flooding the market because people are doing alchemy. So it's kind of like creates like and it helps with collections, I think, right? So it
Yeah, I forgot
encourages
about that.
alchemy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alchemy being used to get like alternate art, lore pieces, maybe
Oh yeah, the
money,
lores.
maybe
Yeah,
cards. Yeah. Um, don't know how exactly it's going to be implemented, but I think that was mentioned. So
yeah. Hope so. I think it'd be kind of cool.
yeah, get some cool cosmetic stuff that way. Gives you a use for your like 20 copies of Patron of the Arts or whoever.
I have so many Shadow Strays.
Well, they're not stray anymore. You gave them a home. You're a very good man.
Shadow homed.
Yeah.
So the next part uh, kind of leads into the next talking point we're going to be mentioning here in a moment. Is there's three new keywords: haste, foreshadow, and accumulate. Um,
I don't know what that
yeah,
means.
I don't.
We're gonna find out together. Well, we know what haste means.
Yeah, we know what haste means. I
Um,
don't. I don't know anything about accumulate. I think they've talked about foreshadow in the Discord.
yeah, I think foreshadow is like,
It like
um,
kills in a few turns. It does an effect in a few turns after being
yeah,
on the field.
yeah. If it says like foreshadow 3, then like the effect will happen 3 turns later.
Hmm.
Um, my concern is like it's already kind of hard to tell what's going on because everything
Yeah.
happens simultaneously, but there's also order in the turn. Um, I think it has potential to be very confusing. They're going to have a
Yes.
good way of displaying this. Like, if there could even be like something off to the side, which like displays current foreshadow effects, so you can like hover over it, something like that, just to keep
Hmm.
track of it. So I don't think Fatal Core is like the easiest game to tell what's going on, at least.
Yeah, you have to pay close attention. Even
Yeah,
then, you can
yeah,
get confused. Yeah. It'd be nice to like have some kind of countdown too, because like you'll be like, what turn did I play this foreshadow for?
yeah. Because
I
you
don't
could
remember.
also forget, yeah, when you
Yeah,
played it.
and currently the log is like really confusing.
Hmm.
Um, so
Yeah,
hopefully, this comes with a tutorial and the UI changes and
yeah.
things.
Improving the log would be actually excellent for keeping
Definitely.
track. I didn't see this until now. An estimated 60 plus new cards. That is a metric fuck ton of new cards.
I think this goes
Jeebus.
with the. I'm assuming these are for the three new leads. I don't know
Yeah,
if this means like six new cards for the current leads,
I would
or if it's like
imagine it's a mix. So
yeah.
the new cards for the new leads, as well as some for the existing leads, and probably quite a few neutrals as well.
Hmm.
So
Exciting stuff.
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. And then the last one is we've talked about it. Alternate art, card art for a rare treat for any collector. I butchered that, but it is a rare treat for any collector. So I think that will hopefully go on with the alchemy and the maybe the auction system. I don't know where they're going to implement this. I have no idea. Um, why are you looking at me like that?
What do you mean? Why am I looking at you like that? I was trying to. You said a rare treat, and I was trying to think of a joke with dog treats.
You're just like staring off, like I thought I fucked up something. You were
No,
like trying not to laugh at me.
no, I'm trying to figure out how to make a joke out of that with like milk bones. Be
Funny.
like, Fatal Core is finally adding milk bones. It's a rare treat for any collector. Um, fuck. Yeah, my mind really just went blank trying to turn that into a joke.
Well, back on topic.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think it'll be pretty cool. There's a lot of they've shown some a long time ago. I don't know if you remember,
Yes,
but
yeah, yeah,
like the enthralled phantom, all art,
yeah.
Ash Knight,
The sexy phantom.
mm-hmm, yeah, Bounce Iron.
Yeah,
Uh, there was a couple other I can't remember off the top of my head. I think Maddening Might have been one.
yeah. I don't remember the exact list. Just that.
I'll put them on the screen if I can find them. But
Yeah, they're in the works. You know.
yeah, they're pretty cool. That was a months ago too. It was before Christmas and probably Thanksgiving. Um, so I think it'd be cool. I'm sure there's gonna be more that they haven't shown us or anything like that. But
Yeah, I
yeah.
hope the new art for Inspire is literally just neon colors all over the fucking place. It's just like a pog.
I don't know what card I would like an alt art for. Like not like a new art, like isn't like Inspire where like I just want the art changed. I don't know what cards I'd like just an alt. I think Bounce Iron's one of my favorite cards, so that
Yeah,
being the new
yeah,
one's kind of cool.
yeah. I don't love her current art. I think it looks kind of weird.
I don't know. I'm up and down with it. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really fit the theme, and then other times like that looks cool.
I
Depends on
think.
how I wake up in the morning.
Yeah, well, I look at her mouth and I'm like, that mouth looks weird. I don't like that mouth. You think she eats grapes?
maybe.
I think she
I'm gonna have
might
to
be.
look at her mouth now. I'm gonna
Yeah, do
because
you,
that's gonna.
well, look at like the shape of her teeth, because like you can like because like herbivores have like a bunch of molars and shit.
Mm-hmm,
I think she looks carnivorous. I think she probably eats people.
mm-hmm. I
Well,
never really looked that closely at her teeth. They're kind of little pointy.
yeah, welcome to the Fatal Core diet cast, where we estimate what each Fatal Core character eats.
Mm-hmm.
Jetto,
What do you think?
vegetarian.
Yeah, he eats beans. That's it.
Yeah, that's a given.
Classic.
Prisoner,
Barragast obviously eats humans, right?
yeah,
So, that
prisoner,
one's easy.
beef jerky. She looks like she eats beef jerky.
I feel like she just chews on beef jerky and spits it out.
How the fuck do you get the nutrients?
I don't know, man.
She just like
That's
absorb that shit.
photosynthesis. I don't know.
Joanne, I don't know, like space clouds. She like
Yeah,
sucks up
eats the
gas.
sun.
Yeah. All right. Well, now that we've educated you on the diets of the lead characters, we're going to talk about one of the new mechanics that we mentioned
Ooh.
earlier, haste. Um, so, haste is a keyword on spell cards, which allows it to activate um, first in the round. So it activates before other spell cards, it activates before creatures are played. It's super, super fast.
Yeah, it's like
Absolute.
initialize for spells,
Yeah.
which is faster than initialize.
Yep. It is supersonic speed. Go see that movie in theaters. Valentine's Day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Xanic.
Um,
So we have
so,
some cards here.
yeah. We got quite a few cards. So I'll start off Soul Lance, which is a sea spell, neutral with haste, which reads deal 3 damage to yourself, success, render target opposing creature soulless. What are your initial thoughts on this card?
I think it's uh in a vacuum with the current card pool that we have. I think it's meh, like it's a C spell.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way because like you're hitting yourself for 3 and you're rendering a creature soulless, so you're not removing the creature. It's gonna hit
Mm-hmm.
you. Like, I feel like you're gonna be taking a lot of damage. Like,
Right.
like situationally it's good, like removing like Learja, for instance, like she'll stop damaging you. um but
Yeah.
versus something with like decent base stats that's been buffed, and you're like getting rid of the buff but it still hits you, yeah,
Yeah, I really think it's only currently great against like zero base stat attack creature, Ash Knight, Saint,
yeah.
Uriel, whatever the hell, Phantom. But even like a Bell, like sure you're stopping Bell's effect, but you're taking 3 damage and then she's poking for 2. So it's
I
like,
mean, or like a creature buffed up by Alicia, like maybe,
that's true.
depending on what's being buffed. Or Alicia herself, I
Yeah,
guess. Um, yeah, I'm pretty ambivalent towards it. I don't think it's amazing.
yeah, kind of feel the same way currently.
What's next?
There's the S spell, neutral, primal negation. Sounds kinky. Haste.
Mmm.
Erase
Mmm.
target creature. The controlling player gains life equal to its combined power and HP.
Almost spat out my water.
So quick garage. Is this better
What?
than Court of the Blind, or is
This
it
card
worse?
fucking sucks. It's like the worst card ever. I said that without reading. Let me read it. Erase target creature, haste. Controlling player. Oh, it can target opposing creatures?
Yep.
Oh. Eh. Eh. Yeah, I don't think it's that good.
Yeah. I think the
Um,
idea is like you're supposed to
you can like
like
kill your own Ash Knight, I guess. That's
yeah,
grown. Or you can
yeah.
leave it there and like it'll continue smacking your opponent. But then there's like, oh, we can play it on the last turn and get a big swing. But I feel like if your Ash Knight has grown that much, you're probably already winning. Or
hmm
like situations like that.
Yeah, I think
Uh,
the only
eh.
situation is like if they've already hit all their cards and then they have like a Leyland. evocation in their hand, so you know that they're gonna remove it. This has haste, it
Oh,
outspeeds it.
yeah,
You
yeah,
gain
yeah.
HP.
I
I
didn't
think
think
that's
about
what
that.
Galus was talking about originally. It's situational. I think it's a little too situational for an S card.
I
Um,
think it is decent in that case. I didn't think about that. Um, yeah, I could see that. I think I think it's decent.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, eh,
And we're
eh.
we're also basing these off the ones he posted a while back. These might be changed. I don't know. Again, we've said this like 30 times, but subject to change. We're not sure 100%
Yeah, we're
on
not.
basically anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is all still in development, so
Right.
could uh, definitely be changed before release. Next is a Joanne card. It's a sea spell with haste named In Spirit. The effect is haste. Erase target Defiant Wisp or Defiant Spirit on your board. Success, give target creature you control mana magnet. I think it's alright.
I
Um,
think it's fine.
yeah, I think it's alright. It's another
Yeah.
way to use wisps or spirits, and I think because it has haste, it can can it cancel
Uh,
another spell in the same turn?
Yeah, I believe I asked that when he posted it, and he said, yeah, that's like the whole idea is like it's basically just a spell MM, but yeah,
Hmm.
you have to target two cards. You're basically losing two cards. Oh, you're playing a card, then you're tributing a card, and then the card you target with MM tributes itself or erases itself. So I guess you're losing three cards an advantage, or losing two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
You're losing two
Card mechanic.
things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for a one. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now I'm thinking Joanne's already slow as shit. This is aggressively anti-tempo, which is probably
Mm-hmm.
not what you want to do. I
Yeah,
mean, it has applications for stopping opponent's spells in the same turn they're played. Wait, you can already do that with Mana Magnet.
yeah.
You can just play a Mana Magnet. Never mind. Fuck this
Well,
card.
I think this is like ideal for like when you play a merge, so your board's full. It's like a spell MM, so
Oh,
it's like,
I, I,
but you're
guess, I
still,
guess.
yeah. I don't
I
know.
I guess that's a thing.
I think it'd be cooler if it didn't have to erase another Defiant Wisp or Spirit.
Yeah.
Um, to be fair, it can give any creature you control Mana Magnet, but I think you'd rather give it to a wimpy Wisp, ideally. I don't
Uh,
know.
it's a card.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it's a little too neg for me, but it's a
it's
C,
a
so.
it's a little too neg for me. It's a big neg.
All
Uh,
right, so the next Joanne card, if you're ready to move on,
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
is Bulwark. Uh, is this a word? I don't.
Yeah, bulwark. It's raising defenses, I think, or
Oh,
that's the I don't know the definition, but the context I've heard it in is fortified.
okay, that makes sense. Haste. Give target creature you control +0/+2.
Um, I think it's good. Uh, it lets something survive, like a tremor, the same turn it's played, for instance, because it has haste, they get the HP boost first.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I think it's actually decent, playable.
Yeah, I'm kind of up in the air. I think it's playable, but it's just I don't know. I think the bread and butter is just it's a haste. That's all it is. So it's like it's a really small buff, but it's a really guaranteed buff. So
Yeah, it
yeah, you
lets
can survive a
you
tremor or whatever.
yeah, it lets you dodge spell damage.
Yeah,
Let something survive. I think it's good. I I think it's yeah, it's good.
cool. It's good.
Yeah, I mean there isn't. I don't think there's a lot of finesse to it. It's an HP buff. It happens before spells, so you can dodge death from something like tremor.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It's good. It's good. It's good. So next one, Neuroshock, which is an A spell for prisoner. It is unique. It has haste, and it says
You
fill
all right?
all. Yeah. I read something. It says
Oh,
fill all unoccupied spaces on your opponent's board with abject horrors. Abject horrors are 0/10 with end of turn erase abject horror. So because this has haste, like let's say, and it fills up your opponent's board entirely with these creatures, like let's say your opponent tries to play a creature at the same time. Um, Creatures blocked by Neuroshock will be returned to the hand, while
Hmm.
summons from cards like Dream Sequence Beta, for instance, will cease to exist. I think Neuroshock is very good because it prevents your opponent from playing any creatures for a turn, basically. So,
Right.
like, if you have something on board, smack them.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
Seems
a
pretty
free
good.
turn.
Yeah.
It's,
And,
it basically just says your opponent doesn't play for a turn. So I think
yeah, well,
that's
I mean, they can still, like, play a spell onto your board or, like, stuff like
sure.
that.
Yeah. Yeah. And if they have an established board already that like buffs
Yeah.
creature, if they have, whatever, Alicia or whatever, then they're still gonna be doing some damage because, I don't know. There's a lot of situations where this is actually bad to play, but I think overall it's a really good card.
Yeah, I think it's a good card. Definitely. I mean, if your opponent has, like, anything on board, like, stuff is still happening. Like, those creatures
Mhm.
they have still attack, their effects still go off, but they can't play anything else. The potential to stuff your opponent's turn makes this very good. Like, in
Now,
Prisoner, especially.
oh yeah, for sure. I just now thought of this. I don't know where they stand currently. Are they going to change where like tokened or summoned creatures immediately get the stat buffs and debuffs from the
I,
field?
yeah, I want to say that's happening. I do
So if
not.
that's the case, then this will be doing damage most likely, unless it's against prisoner, right? Well, even with
Oh.
prisoner, they have a +2/-1.
Yeah, and the +1/-2. I didn't think about that. Yeah, you'll get smacked by the horrors if the field change is applied automatically. Um, this card might be bad if that. Well, it will be worse if that's implemented.
Right,
I don't want to call it bad because it's still like being able to block your opponent from playing a creature or creatures that turn. Um,
right. I don't
it's
know. It's
it's
a
interesting,
yeah, it's a card that doesn't have like I don't know, it has a lot of good and bad about it. So I feel like
definitely.
when you do it and you play it and it's worth playing, then you get a big reward, but you can also get fucked over by it. So I kind of
Yeah,
like that.
it's situational. I think it takes skill to play. It's not
Hmm.
just Dream Sequence Beta, Gorilla Smash, Unga Bunga. Let me play this card and win. Let me play this card twice in a row and win.
Oh yeah, seems
Dream,
fair.
please make Dream Sequence Beta unique or
Please,
something. Just
please, for
do
the love of
something
God.
with it. A card requires no skill to play. It's just play this and you have a good board. Um,
Classic Jetto.
Classic Shadow. Um, Maybe I'm wrong.
Cool.
I feel like I'm being kind of bombastic with my
Oh
assertions about Dream. Actually, no. Fuck Dream Sequence Beta.
no,
What am I saying?
yeah,
Jeez. Um, Delete Jetto from the game.
yeah. Leave his
So
pants though.
yeah, leave his pants. Somebody else can wear them. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe we
someone's got
have
to fill
like
those
a
bean pants.
yeah have like a weekly rotation. Like Joanne wears them, Prisoner wears them. Oh, we gotta
Oh,
have
can we
like
get?
a what?
I was gonna say, can we get custom art of all the other leaders wearing bean pants?
That'd be pretty good. That'd be pretty. I'm on board for that. Alternate art with bean pants. So, up next, uh, take it from here, Hans. This is
Uh,
like big reveal, big preview, big
yeah, it's
Kahar,
Kahar, Arha,
K Dog.
K Dog. Yeah, just call him K Dog.
All right.
He's a new leader, and he's the ally of Joanne, also known as Jury. Um,
Okay. Yeah, keep on talking that shit. I will.
so on the screen currently, there should be a sketched picture of him, along with his board. He has a board which will be I'll read from left to right on top, and then left to right from bottom. So it's Rage 1, -1, -1, +1, -1, +1, -1 on the bottom left, +1, -1, and then a end of turn +1 life. Or is that each turn? I'm not actually EOG.
End of turn.
I'm actually okay. So yeah, interesting board.
He is a sick ass Viking dude.
Yeah, got a cool axe and a broken horn.
Yeah, you should really get that fixed.
Yeah,
Was...
he's like a unicorn now.
Kahar the unicorn.
Is it too late to change that?
I don't think so. You
Uh,
should, put that in the suggestion box.
I will. I will. Um, so we have a list of this is the list of Joanne only cards. These will not be shareable with Kahar.
Yep.
Um,
So
and so,
Joanne, these cards will be unique to her.
mhm.
Everything else will be shared in the alliance, but the Joanne specific cards are Brilliant Strategist, Erase, Emerge, Call, Inspire, Reject, and Saint Iria. So I think with these cards being unique, it's a lot of the stronger Defiant Wisp, Defiant Spirit synergy cards.
Mhm.
So Joanne will retain a lot of those with her identity as Spirit Swarm buffing lady, whereas Kahar seems to be designed more aggressively as he is a big Viking dude.
It's a big
Um,
boy.
oh, also the lore on Kahar. So, in the process of being sent to the future by the shaman of his demolished village, he became touched by spirits. Um, so there will probably be something indicating that, like added to his design, like some sort of like aura or like spiritual energy touching him.
Yeah, like show me where the spirit touched you on the doll.
Poor KR. He got touched by the shittiest archetype.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uh,
Um. Oh. Oh god. I'm sorry. That's very juvenile.
yes, we are children.
Yeah. 10 years
Um,
old.
yeah. So yeah, that's kind of like his vibe. We also have some rough drafts.
His vibe is being touched by spirit.
I'm trying to move on.
We need a doll card. Somebody needs a doll card, which just instantly does a fuck ton of damage to KR. Brings up the repressed memories. Okay,
Like a doll
that's
of Joanne. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
we're done.
yeah, yeah,
Got that out of our system. Okay. So yeah, so we've been given this is exclusive by the way. Fatal Cast
yeah. I'm
exclusive.
glad we waited like 45 minutes to talk about the
Yeah.
exclusive premiere
Best
stuff.
for last, you know?
Yeah,
We gotta
definitely.
get those views
Best,
in.
dude. We gotta close out the show with a bang.
Exactly. So these are some rough drafts, implying that they could change.
Yep.
So the first one is Wise Old Raven. It's a sea creature with 0 attack, 5 HP. End of turn. Gain 1 life for each creature you control that has rage. What?
I can't stop thinking about it. I hope it
God damn it.
says that. Like, if you're allowed to select Kahar, I want his description to just be touched by a spirit. I don't want any other flavor text. Wise Old Raven.
Yes.
Um, so Kahar, his board, has a rage space, and as you will soon find out, he has quite a few cards with rage or cards that give rage to creatures. So it's a very angry berserker Viking dude. Um,
Hmm.
and he also has some cards which deal damage to himself in exchange for activating a strong effect. So I think Wise Old Raven is good for a C. Um,
Yeah.
heals Kahar. Lots of his cards have rage. His board
Yeah.
space has rage.
Yeah.
Uh,
You can rage with the Raven. It's a 0/5. So
yeah, it seems like a good card
yeah.
for C. Solid C creature. Kind of reminds me of like Knight of Misfortune, for instance, as
Right.
just a solid class specific C. I guess Knight of Misfortune, you have to be running Solus, but it's along those lines.
Hmm. And I don't know if I clarified enough. These are Kahar specific cards, so
Yes,
Joanne won't be able to share these.
yes, Joanne will not have these cards. So
Okay,
next is a sea spell for Kahar. It is called Frost Rain War Song. It reads, give all Defiant Wisps and Defiant Spirits on your board +1/+1 and Rage 1. This card is super good. It's
yes.
is Emerge Joanne specific? I think it is. It
I
is.
don't.
It
Oh,
is.
it is. Ah,
Damn.
damn.
All right. Well, still. One of the main issues with spirits and wisps in Joanne is I've said this a million times is they're slow. They don't do a lot of damage until
Mhm.
you buff them. This is a very aggressive card, which turns your wisps and spirits into battering rams. They immediately gain attack, a little bit of life, and they start raging. So seems very good for wisp and spirit based KR.
Yeah, I really like the effect. I'm trying to think what cards summon Defiant Wisps. What other
Uh,
cards with it? I know like there's Fading Spirit.
yeah, there's Fading
Uh,
Spirit. There is Scarred Disciple is a card. Um, I know, like a little bit later on, Kahar actually has some cards which, or has a card
hmm,
which spawns Defiant Spirits. Um, I'm kind of blanking. I'm looking at the list of Joanne's specific cards because she
yeah.
has
Well,
quite a few.
a symbol's not Joanne specific.
Right.
That's an A, so
Yeah,
eh.
so Kahar can run Assemble. I think this card would synergize really well with Assemble, because Assemble summons 3 spirits and buffs their attack, and then you can play War Song and buff them further.
Yeah,
Yeah, seems
be pretty cool.
seems pretty strong. Very aggressive, which is a trend with Kahar.
Yeah, I really like that they've incorporated Rage as like a
Mm-hmm.
play style.
Yeah, because there haven't been that many cards with Rage, only a few.
Yeah. Um, cool. So the next one is a B, Warrior Imprint.
It
It's a B spell.
it produces honey.
Yeah. Deal 5 damage to yourself. Also, success. Target Defiant Wisp or Defiant Spirit. It gains +3/+3 and a Rage 1.
Aggressive.
Yes.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if this is very good because you're taking 5 and then you're giving a creature, or excuse me, a wisp or spirit +3/+3 and rage 1. So that's like giving it 4 attack essentially. So like at
Hmm.
least the turn it's played, like you're already going -1 in exchange for a creature which is now buffed, a spirit or wisp that's now buffed and like sticks around for a few turns and does damage. I'm not sure if it's. I think in like the current state of the game, it wouldn't be worth it. But with 80 HP in 12 rounds, it might be worth it.
Right.
Like if
And to be
it's
fair,
like if it sticks
um,
around for like 2 turns or 3 turns or even something like 4 turns, like I think it's worth it.
yeah, it gets the
Yeah,
yeah. The other thing is he's dealing 5 damage, but he also has a board space that gains 1 for each rage at the end
yeah.
of turn.
Or he has
So
like the Raven that heals him each turn.
right. So I think that's the idea. I don't know how well that will actually work practically,
Right.
but I think that's why he damaged himself so hard is because he's gaining at least 1 or 2 HP back every turn. So
Yeah, I think this card's probably good. Really have to get our hands on him and try
hmm
it out. But on
yeah, we gotta touch him.
paper it looks at least. Kahar pat down. On paper, it looks at least decent.
Yeah.
Next one is very similar. It is called Sage Imprint. It's a B spell. For Kahar, reads deal 5 damage to yourself. Success target, Defiant Wisp or Defiant Spirit gains +3/+3 and Mana Magnet. I think this is like Warrior Imprint, but uh, bad. I don't.
Yeah.
It reminds me of illegal augmentations
Right.
in,
Back when we thought it had to target the same creature.
yeah, in Prisoner, but way worse. Like, I feel like I'd rather have slow 4 than deal 5 damage to myself and have to give Mana Magnet to the buffed guy. I mean, it
Mm-hmm.
forces your opponent into playing a spell the next turn, kind of. Um, it entices your opponent into playing a spell to remove your buffed guy. And like
Right.
that, like guaranteeing a prediction, like air quotes, is powerful because it means you can like set up something the next turn because you're enticing your opponent to like waste their turn to get rid of the wisp or spirit you just buffed. So I think like with the psychological aspect of the game, like it has potential. But on paper, dealing 5 damage to yourself to buff something that's going to get removed isn't good. It
Yeah.
might be decent, I think, for that aspect of effectively allowing you to set up something safely the next turn.
Yeah.
Because
The
your
way I'm
opponent,
thinking,
because your opponent will want to remove it. Like it now has very good stats.
right. The problem I see with it is like you've been saying is how it'll be removed fairly quickly. So what makes Warrior Imprint possibly good, again, we can't say for sure, is that you are taking 5 damage, but it's a rage one. So if you have that field end of turn, you're gaining an HP for each rage on the field. So it synergizes with that. Plus, it's going to stay on the field potentially longer and do more damage to your
Yeah.
opponent. So it's going to even
Well,
out
yeah, this is
that.
used differently. Like you're not using this to kill your opponent. I think you're using this to give them a love tap and then entice them to stick around for seconds. And by that
Right.
I mean you're enticing them to play a spell to get to get rid of it. And
I
then
I
you can use that knowledge to your advantage and play something like
right.
without fear of it being removed or whatever.
I I I kind of think I'd rather just play Shrine Servant. It's a B. You have a
Uh,
+1/-1 board space. You could just put her in like that,
well,
right?
the thing is, this like sets up for shit. Well, when you put it like that, it's kind of hard to
It doesn't
justify.
require a board setup. You don't take 5 damage.
Well, the thing is with this is it's not removed immediately. It's removed the next turn, or it
True.
can be removed the next turn with the
Right.
spell.
So if they
Compare,
play a spell the turn you're playing it, you're not getting rid of it
yeah,
immediately.
it
That's
doesn't get
true.
removed. It sets up for the next turn. Um, it will. It's probably on the weaker side, definitely. I'm not sure how good because it's also in a B slot, and there are a lot of good B cards.
Hmm.
Um,
It's a good B movie.
yeah, yeah. I don't know whether you're talking about like the genre or the Jerry Seinfeld.
I think you know which one I'm talking about.
The Jerry Seinfeld.
C.
Oh, when you said C, I was thinking of C cards. I was like, wait, what? Jerry
All
Seinfeld's
right.
a C card?
End of turn. Uh, do some comedy stand up. I don't know. Okay,
Oh,
so the next card to move on. Segues are weird, but it's Frost Rain Avatar. It's an A creature with 4/3 stat line and hunt. So it's a new hunt. That's cool. Each or end of turn, if Frost Rain Avatar at if its HP is lower 2 or lower, I am struggling
we
here.
gotta get you like
Erase it.
Microsoft Sam or something.
Yeah. Erase it and summon 3 defiant spirits. Oof. God damn. Okay, let's try that again. So if Avatar's HP is 2 or lower at the end of turn, erase it and summon 3 spirits. Which
This,
are the what I don't remember what the stat lines are.
they're the one attack, 5 health guys.
It's 1 attack? I thought it was like 3.
Nope, it's one attack. Um,
Oh, I'm thinking of like the warrior one then. Whatever one that noble guard summons.
yeah, because Noble Guardian buffs them when he summons them.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Frost Rain Avatar is really good. Um, so keeping in mind with Kahar's board spaces, like all of them reduce Avatar's HP except for the end of turn +1 life space. So, I mean, you could play around with field changes like Astral Guide, for instance, but
Hmm.
typically he's going to erase himself at the end of the turn. But
Yeah.
he he feels like a really good fading spirit because he hunts, so he can like kill a creature And then at the end of turn, he summons spirits, which actually have okay stats. And this sets up for buffing cards like Frost Rain War Song, for
Mm-hmm.
instance, is really good, like to
Yeah.
follow up with. Um, or some of the, or like something like Soul Sculptor or Alicia, even. But I think Frost Rain War Song is the main combo piece there. I
Mm-hmm.
think this card is really good if you're going to try and run Wisps and Spirits in Kahar.
Yeah, I think I agree. He can yeah, he's almost always guaranteed to do 5 damage to a creature
Mm-hmm.
unless you put him in the -1/-1 or in the end of turn game 1 life. So
Yeah, or
I think
your
that's a
opponent
nice,
like plays a spell or that kills it or
yeah,
something. Yeah,
right. Yeah, Trimmer rip, but what can you do?
you can't do anything. Tremors
No.
come to.
You literally cannot stop Trimmer.
It's Tremor destroying America. Let's talk about that. Let's talk
I
about how
I don't want to get
Tremor.
political.
No, let's talk about how Tremor is corrupting the youth. I used to be on the straight and narrow. Then I played Tremor. Now I'm a
You play
Tremor player.
Trimmer, yeah, now you start playing Trimmer turn 1 like you talked about last episode.
Yeah,
Everyone
and I
yelled at you for
yeah,
saying.
and I lose like all of my games when I do that.
Yeah, so I think it's pretty cool. I like hunt cards. So it seems like a really good hunt card, and it also erases itself, so it isn't going to be problematic.
Yeah, it
Like
doesn't
Seal,
generate a corpse.
right?
Yeah, I
Well, that
think
too. Yeah,
he's
that's a good thing.
yeah, I think he's like a staple card in Spirits and Wisps. Seems pretty good. Up next is Kahar's S spell, uh,
Ooh.
Timeless Scar. It is a spell with
Hmm.
slow 10, and it reads deal 7 damage to a column on your opponent's board. Success, deal 7 damage to your opponent. Um, so I think at first glance, you're like, oh, this has a super powerful effect. It devastates a column, and then it does heavy damage to the opponent. But then your eyes look up just a little bit, and you read slow 10. And now you realize you can only have 3 S cards in your deck, and you're dedicating
Hmm.
one of the slots to a card which is dead weight in your hand until turn 10. And by turn 10, your opponent, like, I feel like the game is in, like, do or die mode, like, that late in the game.
Right.
Like, either Timeless Scar is definitely the play and you have to play it, or it's useless. I don't think there's a whole lot of wiggle room. I mean, I could be wrong because, of course, the metagame is going to change with
Right.
the plethora of changes coming to Fatal Core. I think, like, on paper, my estimation is because it's so slow, I don't think it's worth it to put it in your deck. Because I feel like it's always going to be this is definitely the play and it will really help me win the game, or I'm too far behind, this won't do enough.
Yeah, I kind of think. I think I agree. It's just I don't know. Yeah, it's an S card that's dead for like 3/4 of the game. So
Yeah,
if you make it to turn 12,
it is
so
insanely slow.
yeah. But I think it has to be slow, right? I mean,
Yeah, I
so it's
mean,
like it's
definitely.
one of those, it's an S card that just you want a cool effect, you have to balance it. So it inherently makes it not a great S card. But I think
Well,
we've talked about this
yeah.
before. I think it's fine that there's not great S cards out there. Like there should be some like
Well,
this that are like
I mean, because it is class specific, and it's, as far as I know, Khar's only S specific spell, I think it probably needs to be reworked somehow. I don't want to say, like, oh, just buff the damage effects, because then it's stupid. You know, it's like, play
mhm,
this card on turn 10 and win.
right.
That's not good. Um, I, yeah, I'm down for just like throwing out this design and completely doing something different, but um, that's just my opinion. It can probably be
Mhm.
reworked in some different way to make it less of an all or nothing sort of deal. Um, it's meh.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I don't understand currently is like, are you gonna be able, you're gonna be able to pick these as your
I
starting lead, right?
I
Or no,
don't know. I do not know if you can pick Kahar as a starting lead or the other two unannounced leads.
right? Because I think that makes a difference because it's kind of like the
Hmm.
listless devour argument.
Yeah. Well, if you can't pick Kahar, then yeah, this card definitely needs to be buffed
Yeah, yeah, I
somehow.
agree. Um, there is another S card though. Huh?
Oh yeah. The dude,
Yeah. So it's Wagner. It's a funny name.
Wagon.
Yeah, Wagon Earth Splitter. S creature. 9/9. That's two no's in German. Rage
Oh,
3. End of turn, deal 5 damage to the controlling player.
you want to know why it says no twice in German?
Why?
Because this card is shit. No,
I kind of like it.
I just wanted to make that joke. I
Yeah.
think this card is very comparable to Lirsha in that it's a
Mm,
rage card. It's a big rage card that does a lot of damage. Uh, so with Wagner, he's very, very good versus Solus in comparison to Lirsha, who is very, very bad
horrible.
versus
Yeah.
Solus. Um, However, Wagner has more issues with survivability compared to Lirsha. Because Lirsha gains health at the end of each turn, Wagner does not gain any health. And all of Kahar's spaces, except for one, will reduce your HP. So Wagner
Hmm.
is a lot more fragile, I think. And he hits harder, at least immediately, but he also hits you for 5. I think he's very comparable to Lirsha.
I think that's a good comparison. Yeah. Now it seems like the 2S cards currently are just like closer cards. I think this is a better closer.
I mean, you can
Maybe. I
start
don't know.
out with it and just immediately start smacking your opponent really hard.
That's true. I don't know.
Um,
I kind of like it, but it will kill you. It will just straight
I
up kill you.
Yeah, but it kills your opponent harder.
True. Hmm.
Like if you play him in like a plus attack space, a +1 -1, he rages for 3, gets that +1 attack. He's hitting for 13 immediately and dealing 5 to you. So he's effectively, doing 8,
Hmm.
which for a card that you can just play with no prior setup, like that's a lot.
Yeah, it doesn't have slow.
But
So
on the other hand, he does. He is fragile because he's hurting himself every turn. I yeah.
true.
Uh, I think he is good. Hopefully, he's not too good.
Right.
With
I
like,
think,
can you
yeah.
imagine like astral guide into this guy or like crystal coat and stuff like that? I
Hmm.
I'm not sure. He's he might be. He seems good at the very least. I think.
Hmm. Yeah. I I was kind of thinking, curious. I don't know how this interaction works. If you put him in the Rage 1 space, does he? That's a field change, right? So
Well, it's a field space. Yeah, I think it
yeah.
stacks.
So it'll be a Rage 4.
Yeah, I think that's how that works.
Hmm. Interesting.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
could
I don't know.
kill himself even faster and smack faster.
True. Yeah, currently he doesn't have any cards that like give HP to Rage cards. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
a
that's a good
like a
idea.
like a C or a B that doesn't have any attack, and it's just like it's kind of like a Soul Sculptor kind of thing, but it gives it to Rage. I don't know.
Yeah,
That might be either too bad or too good. I don't. I'm not a card design person.
we could change Timeless Scar into like give your rage dudes plus HP. I don't know. Um, well, he has a funny name, Wagner.
True.
I'm gonna call him Wagon.
Calm. Waggy.
Waggy, uh,
Waggy.
Wagman, Little Red Wagon.
I'm curious. I'm excited to see all this artwork too. A lot of cool
Oh
names.
yeah. I wonder.
And
Hmm, I think Wagner is the kind of guy to wear satin or cashmere.
I don't know which one do Vikings wear more.
I don't think they wear either. I don't know that much about like uh,
Like
traditional Viking
Nordic.
clothing.
Yeah.
I would imagine they probably. I mean, cashmere. That's from like a region in India, I think. I hope I'm not like being a bigot right now.
Yeah.
I think that's. I
I'm
think
not
that's
gonna
where
make
it's
any
from.
claims.
I think that's where it's from. So probably Saturn. I don't know very much about Saturn.
I thought it'd be like a I don't know, like a mountain lion's pelt or
That's
something.
not
I don't know.
Saturn. What are you
No, but
talking about?
I'm talking about that's what Vikings would wear. I don't know.
Well, I'm talking about what Vikings would actually wear, which is something beautiful and luxurious.
Hmm. I've never seen a beautiful Viking.
You got one right in front of you, Kahar the unicorn.
Oh, I thought you were talking about yourself.
No, I got no Nordic blood in me. I'm from uh, I'm trying to think of a good lie. I'm from Kalamazoo.
Yeah, he's from Kalamazoo, guys. You heard it here first.
Hit me up if you're in Kalamazoo. I can show you around town, get some ice cream, maybe see a movie, have some
What
dinner,
when you're
maybe
there, do you play Kalikazoo?
like
Do you
a kazoo.
like a yeah, like that, you know?
Shit, I wish I had my kazoo on me. It's in my closet.
God
Could give a impromptu performance.
damn. I thought we were gonna end with the national anthem, but it's fine. Okay.
Yeah, I can dig it out. Probably take a few minutes of rummaging. Um, so overall, Kahar, I think he's. I mean, right now, I want to see less Wisp and Spirit stuff because most of his cards are Wisp and Spirit synergy. Like, I'd like to see more diverse stuff with
Mm.
Kahar instead of just like he's a more aggressive Joanne.
Yeah, I think something a little more along the lines of Wise Old Raven. Almost said
Mm-hmm.
Craven. Um, something like that, kind of more specific towards the rage, wherever whatever that would be. I think
Yeah,
I'd be
like rage and healing, like that duality. Um, One thing that's notable is Jury is not specific to Joanne, so
true.
Kahar can play Jury for more healing.
Hmm.
It's a
She's
notable
got great
card.
stats too.
Yeah, yeah,
You could put
she's
her into Rage one. She's a 4/5.
yeah. You can I mean you can play her in like any of the spaces, and she's good.
Yeah,
4/5 to 5/4. It's good. It's fine. It's decent. It's good.
yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Um, so before we end, I'd like to give a extra special shout out to Wrigley Gum
Mm,
and the Hershey Company.
yes. And I didn't say it previously, but this podcast was sponsored by Beans. I have a little thing actually that they sent me to
Oh,
read.
what is it?
Um, so this is my pitch. So thank you all for listening. If you don't want to listen to this part, it's okay. So beans, they're good for your heart. The more you eat them, the more you fart. The more you
Oh,
fart,
oh man.
the better you feel. So eat your beans for every meal. Yeah, something like that. So thank you so much, Beans, for sponsoring Fatalcast episode 3.
I think we're gonna have to replace you with Galus permanently. I just can't deal with this. Overall, I give Kahar a 6 out of 9. It's probably
Yeah,
good. Um,
I give him a touch out of 10.
give him a little tickle.
Yeah, give him
Kahar,
a little pat.
yeah, Kahar makes me tinkle.
Tinkle or tingle?
Tinkle, as in
Oh,
P.
like bell. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
Uh, Thank you for
Yeah.
watching. This has been the Fatal Cast. Check out Fatal Core in the description. Check out
Yeah.
the Fatal Core Patreon in the description. Join the Fatal Core Discord, one of the best and most active communities ever. It is
Ever.
fantastic. Please join.
Please.
I'll be there. Oz will be there. Other
Hmm.
people will be there.
There will be people.
There will be refreshments,
Mm-hmm. Some
uh,
beans.
cots,
Cots? Like sleeping
lettuce.
cots?
Yeah, and
Yeah, yeah, we will be feeding you cots.
there's a merry-go-round in the break room. Thank you for listening. I'm Garage.
And I'm Oz.